Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to compare an almost $70 palette with a less than $2 palette. I am talking about the Natasha Denona Retro palette, which is $65, I do believe, against this Temu Glam palette. And this came from Temu, T-E-M-U. And that's what they look like compared to one another. Let's open these babies up. I have played with this palette, but I have not put it up against the retro. I haven't swatched them side by side, but this is what they both look like. And let's open them up. The Natasha Denona has a very nice mirror, as does this cheaper version. Let's see if I can get them without blinding you guys. But this is both of them. The shades are pretty much in the same spot. So we are going to get started putting one on one eye and one on the other. So I think I'm going to put this palette on this eye and the Natasha Denona on this eye. I've got my little color switch as well as a towel if I need it. Let's start out by priming my eyes, and I'm going to prime them with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. If you can hear background music, I do apologize. It is actually New Year's Eve when I'm filming this. And the people that live behind us have zero respect. They have a live band, and instead of pointing the tent that they have set up, the stage, in the direction where there's nothing but woods and fields, they turn it towards the neighborhood. So, yay us. So if you can hear it, I'm very sorry. I will try to see what I can do to get it edited out. Maybe reduce the background. Oh, that's not powder. I grabbed that thinking it was a powder to set this primer. But I'll just use my Bye Bye Pores from it. I'm just going to use that same little brush that I applied the concealer with and put that on. It is, yes, it is definitely New Year's Eve here. It is currently 9:04. And I'm going to show you guys this. Let's see. Let's get it to pop up again. See that? It is 68 degrees. A few days ago, it was 16 degrees. The beginning of this week, it was 16 degrees. And it is currently 68. North Carolina weather. All right, let's get started. So, I'm gonna switch my brush and let's go in with the Temu palette. Does not have shade names, but that's okay. I'm going to go in with this shade, and then on the Natasha Denona, it is shade Vivian, which is that one. So let's see what we can come up with. These shadows are very powdery. You know what? I'm not going to use that. I don't need to. I don't have any base makeup on. You may can see how it's flying when I put it on. That's a very pretty color. Very pretty. It'll lay down nice. So I'm just switching it off. And I'm going to come over here to this side. Vivian. It will be 2023 by the time you all are watching this. So I hope everyone had a safe and fun New Year's, or a safe and relaxing. The Vivian shade is not quite as pigmented as the cheek palette. So let's go in a little deeper. Let's go in with this shade right here. And then it is the shade Go Go right here in the Natasha palette. And I'm going to use that same brush. I want it to blend into that first color. Do you guys make resolutions for the new year? That is something that I normally never do. Normally never, you know, I may think to myself, or I may, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking cigarettes in 2023, and you know, you don't do it, or I didn't do it. However, last year I did make a resolution to watch more documentaries, and I fulfilled that. That is one thing that I fulfilled, and it wasn't something that I thought, oh, I need to turn on Netflix or, you know, whatever streaming to fulfill the resolution that I made. No, I just turned one on one day and then continued to kind of watch that, watch documentaries or true crime shows, episodes, you know, whatever the case may be. Let's see. That shade was a nice shade. I liked the Go-Go shade better than I did the Vivian. I like the second shade better than I did the first in the Natasha Denona. Now, let's go in with this shade. And that is Amara in the Natasha Denona palette. I am going to use a different brush for that. Now, let's come over here and pick up Mari. Okay. Now, I want to use as much as I have. Let's go into this shade, and then that would be Rebellion in the Natasha Denona, right there. Ooh, what shimmer shade, what shimmer shade. This shade. And then it's Swing in this palette right there. And that's those two swatched. And they got it crunked up. When I played with this palette, it did. Okay, I am placing that shade down, and I'm going to clean my brush and actually use the other side and go into Swing and do this eye. These are really pretty tones. Hello, which is this shade in the Retro palette, and this shade in the Temu. So let's make sure this is washed off. And I'm definitely going to spray this. And let's see what we can come up with. I was trying to use colors that I hadn't used before when I played with this palette one other time. Let's get me with my finger. I think it's got a better payoff with my finger. Okay. Now, let me try it with the brush. Just because I did it on this side that way. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my finger. I'll go in with this one more time. Oh, wow. And last but not least, I'm going to do an inner corner highlight, but I'm going to do it matte. So I'm going to use this shade in this palette and Mod, the shade Mod in Natasha Denona. This is a matte. Wipe it off and come over here. this is the final look. Now, let me look at myself. My thoughts on this palette. I knew how this performed. It's, you know, one of my favorites. This, as you can see, and as you did see if you watched this whole video, I had 0 problems using this to keep up with this. Do I think these are 100% dupes? No. There are very, very minor differences in the two. However, if I were going somewhere, I always like to say it like that, I would leave my house with both eyes. I wouldn't take one off and redo it with so I'd have one palette on 2 eyes. No, they are close enough that I don't really see a difference. $65. $1, I think 67. Yeah. I'd pick these up all day long. The last time that I wore them, and I'm not going to do a wear test now, but when I wore them, right after I got the palette, I was playing with it. No issues. This palette lasted on my eyes the same as this one typically does, and you know, other shadows. So no complaints about this palette. I highly suggest you go pick it up. Tea Time, I think it's Tea Time Adventures, has a code for Temu, and I will leave her channel in the description box, and you can, if you're not subscribed to her, head over there and subscribe to her, give her a like, show her some love. But I do believe she has a code for the website. I know she is an affiliate with them. So at any rate, okay guys, I've talked long enough. Happy New Year. Be beautiful, be kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.